Okay,
That's recording.
We're recording.
We're good. We're up. Actually, I'm curious how that sounds different than what we've been using. Actually, it's going to sound completely different because we're not in a car.
Yeah, well, this is going to be
upgraded.
Completely different than what we've had in the past, where we have no car. Well, we still have the car, but we're not in the car. And
different mic. We could just sell your car and buy like $30,000 worth of high-end equipment.
I won't be able to get around it.
You don't have a studio anymore because your car is gone.
Exactly, that's my studio. That's my work van.
Yeah.
Anyway,
it works.
Yeah.
So nothing really great to talk about. There's Apple keynote. We don't need to talk about that.
Yeah, that's a minor topic.
That is the only topic. That is all we have.
All right. But first, so we haven't done podcasts in a couple of weeks. Of course, you're seeing this on Monday, so you would have seen last week we did a live stream of the Apple keynote event. We had a few technical difficulties getting it off the ground, but it turned out pretty good, I think.
Yeah.
And
yep, it was good. First little streaming event.
Yeah, for sure. It was the first time we ever did a live stream to us on that kind of thing like that.
Yeah.
So it was neat to finally do something like that.
And it wasn't too bad. The only thing we had really was audio difficulty.
We had a little bit of audio difficulty. We had no problem setting up all our video stuff.
Yeah.
That all worked fine. But yeah, getting our audio to sync up so that we could hear it and the audience could hear it too. That was the toughest part, but it worked out okay.
Yep.
In the end.
It was a pretty good event actually.
Yeah. So of course we hadn't made a podcast in a couple weeks, mostly because you were out of the country.
I was out of the country destroying stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a pretty good trip, but I came back with like one electronic thing. Everything else broke. My camera smashed. My iPad didn't break, but it just wasn't working out. So that's a topic for another video because I was pretty excited to try that. Tried it. It's not there yet. Definitely something for another video. What else did I break? My gimbal. That stopped working. I don't know what I did with that. And my phone.
Yeah.
So I'm down quite a few electronics, but It's all right. It just means I get to get new stuff.
New stuff is great all the time. I love new stuff.
New stuff is great.
Okay, so what we are going to talk about obviously is the Apple keynote because that's really that's what's in the news.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we got to talk about with tech. So on Wednesday, Apple announced a few new things. Not as much as I actually expected, though.
No, but I think that's an indication there's going to be another event. I think.
But it's not like Apple to have a second event.
No.
After the September event, like usually they don't have another one until March.
Yeah, I mean,
right? If they even have one. Last year they didn't have one.
That's true. I mean, so yeah, there's a little bit of inconsistency there. So there might be. I was expecting some stuff on the iPads actually.
Yeah, and I was expecting some stuff on Macs, right?
Yeah.
We kind of expected some a little bit on possibly seeing something about the Mac Pro, like the new Mac Pro, like the modular one that you'll actually be able to do upgrades to, unlike the trash can. And
trash can.
Yeah, and actually there was rumors of an upgraded Mac Mini, so it would have been nice to see some of that stuff. And you kind of think that, especially with expecting to see new iPads or some upgrades to the iPad, that you would have seen both of that at the same time, because we're expecting iPads that are going to follow more of the design of the iPhone 10, right, without the home button and stuff like that.
Will
and
the
gesture
iPad
control.
have a notch? Will it have the biggest notch on a device to date?
The rumors are more leaning towards no notch at all.
No notch.
Right?
And USB-C.
Yeah, and that could be a thing that Apple starts with the iPad and then they move into with the iPhone next year, maybe.
Yeah.
Because that was a possibility, but then when they didn't do it on the iPhone 10, well, were they going to do it on the iPhone 10s? Probably not. So,
if they wanted to be, I was thinking about it. What they should do, they're not going to, but what they could have done, if they plan on moving to USB-C, going in the theme of dongles, give us a dongle for USB-C to Lightning, and then just provide USB Lightning cables or USB-C charging.
And that's the thing is, they didn't, and they're not packaging the new one with the USB-C
They're
charger.
not patching the new one with anything more than a 5-watt charger.
Yeah.
So
the same 5-watt charger, the same USB-A, right? And that's the thing that people were really, thrown off by, is they kind of expected a USB-C charger, even with Lightning to USB-C, right? Because you have say you buy a new Mac, a new MacBook, and a new iPhone, you can only plug in USB-C. You can't plug in your new iPhone into your new MacBook.
It makes... Oh, man. But, that's where they're making their money. They're making
their money on dongles, so they're gonna push it back another year and then maybe make the switch then.
Yeah.
Right, but I would think that, and that's the thing. No one's really plugging into anything other than their MacBook occasionally.
Yeah.
So, or their wall charger, right? And their wall charger, they just ship a USB-C wall charger, and it really makes no difference. You can use whichever one. If you have an old USB-A, sure, you can use it. If you got the new USB-C, sure, you can use it. It doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of companies, so like my, when I first had the Pixel came with the USB-C to USB-C cable. Then it also came with a regular USB-A. I think, I don't know. It came with...
Yeah, USB-A is the...
Yeah, it came with USB-A to USB-C, so adapter, so that was pretty sweet. But then I got the S8, which was newer, and that didn't come USB-C to USB-C. Came USB-C to USB-A. So companies, I guess, aren't really making that full. Maybe it's because they have a whole shit ton, like a full warehouse of like chargers left.
Who knows? It could honestly be something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, the big news was the new iPhones.
Yep.
So let's run it down real quick. New iPhone XS, very small upgrade over the iPhone X.
Yeah.
Mostly an internal spec bump. It'll be a bit smoother, a bit faster.
100%. I don't think there's any need to upgrade.
No, if you have an iPhone X, why would you upgrade unless you're trying to make videos better or something?
If you've seen our video, we mentioned looking for a used iPhone X, and it's funny because today on my Facebook feed there was 2 iPhone Xs for sale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
and they're significantly cheaper than in the past. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So anyway, iPhone XS, very small upgrade. Starts at the same price as the iPhone X did at $999 US. So if you didn't buy the iPhone X last year, but we're thinking about getting it now, sure. I mean, it's the same price.
And you can't get the iPhone X.
Yeah, they're going to be discontinuing the iPhone X altogether.
Yep.
Well, it wouldn't really make sense in the lineup,
Yeah, we were
right?
talking about that. It doesn't really. It would kind of make no sense because they would have to lower the price of it, and if they lowered the price of it, why wouldn't you just get that? Probably like the S is a great phone and there's nice upgrades, but I'd say a lot of people would just skip it altogether.
Yeah,
if they can get a cheaper 10.
Exactly, you just get the iPhone X for say $100 less, $200 less, whatever they did with it, and
sorry, that would replace the R. No,
it would replace the iPhone XR.
Yeah.
So that's the other thing. So so the iPhone X, $999. The iPhone XS Max is the first new edition. That's basically a bigger phone. So the iPhone X with 5.8-inch display, and you go to the 6.5-inch display now in this XS
in the
Max.
same sort of body as the
almost the exact same size as an 8 Plus or other Plus phones, right?
Which is great. I think that's fantastic. For people who like bigger phones, I would stick with a smaller phone. You probably would too, but for people who like bigger phones, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's not going to feel like a massive brick in your hand, but you're going to get that beautiful screen.
If you're trying to do a lot of work on your phone, then I can see that being really good. I mean, you can only do so much on your smaller screen phone, right? Well, I mean, I do lots. I find it hard to do anything really productive, although I don't know if having that slightly bigger screen would really make me want to do that much more on a touchscreen like that.
It would probably just make me watch more Netflix.
I don't find watching a whole lot of video on my phone. I've never really done that.
Yeah, and that's one thing I do all the time. So it depends on what you're using it for. I could see it as an entertainment thing. Like, it'd be great. And for people with bigger hands, of course, you want a bigger phone. I mean, I work with a lot of people who have, like, sausages for fingers. So they need the bigger phone.
Yeah.
But for me, like, the smaller screen's great. And it's not even a small screen anymore. Like, the 10 series are not small screens.
No.
At all.
Not at all.
By any means. And their phones still feel
They
great.
have bigger screens than what the iPhone, like, 8 Plus did.
Yeah. Yeah, literally.
Right?
So,
there's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like the Max phone, like that can get up in price to $1,449 US,
which is
so
$19.99 Canadian.
Yeah, $2,000 Canadian, right? So we're looking at that and it's like you could drop $2,000 on that phone, or you can go drop $2,000 on that brand new MacBook or something like that, right?
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy, but at the same time, like I was watching some people talk about this yesterday. After it happened, I saw a couple of videos. I was watching Sam Sheffer did a live stream, and I was watching him talk about that. And what he was kind of getting at is like, if you like, when it comes down to it, if you're someone who works on your phone, you're going to spend that bit more. Because you're going to get that longer battery life. It's going to last.
Yeah. Like my iPhone 6 went for 2.5 years before dying.
Yeah, my iPhone 6 went 3 years. The battery life started to get pretty bad at the end.
Battery life's always a killer.
But it was never... And that was really the only really bad thing. But it was never so bad that it was unusable.
And you could always replace the battery. You can
replace the battery too, yeah.
Like, it's not hard. I don't know. I haven't worked on anything newer than an iPhone 7, but it's not hard. Like, if you needed a battery, you can do it.
And you can go to Apple or to other services that do it.
Yeah.
And...
like $100.
Yeah, no more than $100 for sure, right? Usually for that stuff, and I know Apple's been doing a lot of replacements themselves for really cheap because of other stuff going on.
Yeah, some other conflicts.
Yeah,
but, yeah, I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, back even as far as the 3GS, that was the first iPhone I had. That thing was a tank. It went flying off a truck on the highway and sat in the rain for a night. It was not waterproof. And the thing still worked for like a solid couple months after that.
Well, and that's the difference there. Say, like, that had... No, that was a glass back, wasn't it? That was a glass back.
The 3GS?
Yeah, it was.
No, it was plastic.
Oh, it was plastic. That's right. Yeah, it was plastic. It looked like glass, but it was plastic, right?
Yeah, it was shiny
plastic.
for the first 2 minutes you had it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, because I was thinking I had... The first iPhone that I had was a 4S.
Yes.
That was a glass back.
Yeah.
Right? But I had that thing for 3 years and never put a case on it other than at one point, it was probably close on a year after I got it, LifeProof came out with the case for the 4S.
Yeah.
And I decided to get it and put that on it for a while, but then I went back to no case again. So it was all this time with no case on my phone and dropped it all kinds of times.
Yeah.
Never anything more than the tiny dent in the
4S, actually, I have a right here. And they're still going. Like, they will still work. Here we go. Look at that. Bam. That's a 4, and I have my 4S kicking around in there somewhere too. But yeah, those things still work. If I had the charger kicking around, that thing has seen hell and back again, and every part of it still works.
I really enjoyed my iPhone 4S. I do like this form factor.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, obviously it's a really small screen. And
but it was big back in the day.
But it was. It was a big screen. Because I remember going from like an LG Xenon into my iPhone. Yeah. My iPhone 4S, right? And it was really nice, this big screen that you could do stuff on. Yeah. Right? Watch videos and things on your phone. It was
I think the only problem these really ever had was the power button on some of them would go.
Yeah, power buttons and home buttons too.
Yeah.
You had a lot of problems with them. And that's the thing, I think Apple has definitely improved that, even though they still do have a physical power button.
Oh man, this brings back so many memories when you hold that. Like, that's crazy. I love these things. Like, and the 4S was a pretty good upgrade. I remember when I got the 4S, I inherited it. Actually, I got really lucky and got the 4S when it nearly just came out for free. But that thing lasted a while. And I go back and forth between phones a lot, but I always kept those, and they always worked, and they were used so much. I played so many Angry Birds on there, and so much Tower Defense. Like
the number of games, how many levels of Angry Birds I beat sitting in the back of the classroom during class in like 9th grade.
Yep. Yeah, those were great.
Yeah,
good days. But,
so anyway, those are the days of the iPhone 4S. Anyway, let's get back on topic. Yeah, we're going way off on a tangent because we still haven't mentioned what's likely to be the biggest seller this year.
Yeah, the XR.
10R.
10R, sorry.
10R. Get it.
I'm sorry, man. I look at it as Junior for some reason, but anyway. The XR
makes sense.
So, or the 10R. So, yeah, probably gonna be the biggest seller.
I would think so.
Or is the 8 gonna be the bigger seller?
8 won't be the big seller because people will be
7. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, no, 7 and 8 won't be. I think because they're still going to keep that 7 and 8 lineup. So what the lineup's going to be is going to be 7, 7 Plus, 8, 8 Plus, R, 10S, 10S Max.
Yeah.
Right. So that's going to be Apple's full lineup. But I think the iPhone 10R is going to be the biggest seller.
I think
mostly because it's going to keep that same form factor to what the iPhone 10 and 10S.
Yeah.
And 10S Max it looks like them, right? But what it doesn't and it has the same internals. That's the big thing that I see, because I know when the SE came out and then they piled in the iPhone 6S internals, like that was a wicked phone in that older form factor, and people loved it. A lot of people had SEs, right? A lot of people still do have them.
Yep.
So it was that was a big selling point, and a lot of people bought it. So I think you could see the same sort of thing coming out with this one. You're still gonna you have top notch specs. You have you have the best specs in the industry right now.
They kept the same processor. Yeah, they kept the A12 Bionic, which that thing is insane.
That thing is ridiculous.
Like, I still think
there's like 10 times more cores in that than there is in my iMac.
Like, it's alien technology.
Yeah, it is.
Confirmed. Illuminati confirmed.
Illuminati confirmed.
There's no way. Like,
Apple,
it's crazy.
Apple is the Illuminati.
Yeah, like, that is hands down more powerful than laptops from, like,
I want to see Geekbench scores on that.
Yeah, see what that's all
because,
about.
I mean, iPhones already, no matter what, they always have the best Geekbench scores.
Yeah, so
always
well
do.
Optimized.
By a lot. Like, more than twice as much as what any Android phone can have. Or anything.
So my initial thoughts on the thing when I finally like sat down and thought about it, I was like, I looked at the prices because I was excited for the 10R. Yeah, that was what I was probably going to go for, just because I don't buy my phones on contracts. I buy them flat out, and you know,
and the only thing you're really losing is
without wireless charging. But we realized we were mistaken.
It does still appear to have a glass back. I haven't really looked into it, so
it looks like I looked at some more pictures. It is, I'm pretty sure, a glass back. But when I saw it, it looked like a unibody, and they didn't really comment anything on that. So I assume assuming it has wireless charging still, which isn't that huge of a thing.
No,
at all. Then really all you're losing is the camera, which it still has a great camera. It's not as good, and you are losing 3D touch. Yeah. And
you lose 3D touch, but I mean, for most people, that's not a big thing.
No,
it's really not.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure it is. From what I was looking at, it's.
It appears to be a glass back, but
it looked exactly like a unibody when I seen it. I was like, oh, what's going on? But yeah.
So like in the press release, I'm just looking here on 9 to 5 Mac. The press release that Apple put out for the new phones.
Yep.
Doesn't make any mention of faster wireless charging for the iPhone XR like it does the others.
Okay.
Right? So you wonder, does it not have wireless charging at all? No, but it does say, with Apple's simply saying that the glass back design enables wireless charging.
Oh, okay, yeah. So there you go.
Probably it will have faster. So it's going to have probably the same wireless charging as what the 10 does. Yeah. Where the 10s and 10s Max are going to be slightly faster.
And if I'm being honest, I'm not going to use wireless charging.
No. And I've used it once on my phone. Yeah, I'm not going out and buying a wireless charging mat. What would be neat for me is if I had like a big mouse pad or something that I put across my desk, and then on one side of it there was a wireless charger built into it or something. That would be cool. Yeah. Right? But I'm not going out and buying something otherwise.
No, I had it for my S8 and never used it.
I got a half a dozen cords. Pop it in one.
A few dozen dongles. You'll be alright.
Yeah, it's not very often that and that's the thing with a brand new phone too, is my battery life is really good. I use my phone a lot, right? And I can still have, or I can still use it like a lot and go to bed with 70% battery left.
And you get an extra hour now.
Yeah, and no, you get an extra 30 minutes for the 10S, an extra 90 minutes on the 10S Max. Okay. The 10R, actually I don't know if they mention it exactly.
Heard no mention of the 10R.
Okay. No, I think you're going to get probably pretty similar to what you get on the 10 though.
Yeah, I would hesitate.
So I mean, you're going to get decent battery life.
Yep.
You know that.
Yeah, and so pricing wise, I'm going to throw up some Canadian numbers just because I was looking at it for myself. Yeah. So the 10R is $1,000 phone for me. Mm-hmm. And so initially I was like, last night actually, I was thinking about it, sitting down. I was like, man, $1,000 and it's not even the flagship. Yeah. Am I going to do that? And I'm not. I think the question, my answer, and at first I was like, am I even going to buy a new iPhone? Because I bought a cheap Android so that I didn't spend the money on it when I smashed my iPhone, so I knew these were coming. I'm planning on buying one. And I thought about it some more. I'm going to skip the 10R. I am going to skip the 10R and go for the 10S. Yeah. I'm going to get, because it's an extra $200. Yep. $200-ish dollars. And I'm kind of looking at it as an investment. That's going to be my phone for the next 2 years for sure.
Oh, for sure, at least.
Probably 3. I mean, it depends.
And that's the thing. I'm a year into my 10 now, and I see no signs of it slowing down. Battery life is still perfect, and I haven't seen that. I never saw that on my iPhone 6 that I had before this. Like my battery life, I saw it slow down at a year, but I don't see that on this one. I can see this lasting 3 years potentially. I might go like 2.5. We'll see what happens. But at that point, we're getting close to another release, and because I got this one in the fall, so I mean. Yeah, chances are this is going to go my 3 years, and I'll get an iPhone 12 or something, or whatever it is.
And so I mean that's my viewpoint on it. I've decided when I do purchase one, it's going to be, I'm not purchasing it right now, but when I do, it's going to be the 10S, and that's going to be my phone. I can't, like, I like Android, and I've gone back and forth a lot. I have had a lot of phones, and nothing beats iOS, and I'm paying for iOS.
Yeah.
The devices are premium. I don't think they're worth what they're charging alone for the hardware, even though there's some amazing stuff.
Well, that's the thing. You can get that premium feel out of a device like a OnePlus 6.
Yeah, like this.
Right, you can get a glass.
It's a little lighter.
You can get a... Well, something like that's a little different.
Yeah.
But I just think of OnePlus.
Yeah,
I think
OnePlus
of
is great.
OnePlus 6, glass back. It doesn't have the wireless charging, but it does have the glass back, so it has that same kind of feel.
Yeah.
And, I mean, a lot of people are actually using that now. And, like, that's a amazing phone for half the price.
Yeah,
it's exactly half the price of an iPhone XS.
So what I'm paying for is the software.
And the ecosystem.
The ecosystem is amazing. I love it, and I'm willing to pay for that.
Yeah.
Like, I've decided. I know it's fanboyish, but it's what works for me. It's simple, and it never fails me. And I just get frustrated with the small little quirks that all of my Android phones have. Little stutters, little hiccups, crashes that I just don't experience on my iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's an investment, and I'm going to go for the 10S and be happy with that. Mainly, the biggest push point for me to get the 10S is the cameras. I think it's worth that extra little bit just to get the dual camera and have the 10R is a beautiful camera, no doubt.
It has a fantastic camera,
and I would not hesitate to get some Instagram-worthy photos on the 10R. You would easily be able to do that.
Yeah, and especially with Apple focusing a little more on actual post-processing.
Yeah, which is great.
In the camera, and not just relying on the telephoto lens to create that depth of field.
Yeah.
Right? And they can do that actual adjustments with the aperture.
Yeah.
That is really neat, and I hope that comes as a software update to other phones too. Like, I want to see that on my iPhone 10.
Yeah. I would hope so. It may not, though.
Yeah.
It might not, but I kind of feel like it should.
Yeah, well, the thing is, if they can do it on the iPhone 10R, then you know that it's no problem for them to be able to implement it on different cameras, right?
Yeah.
So I know that they can definitely put that onto there. So if they can do that, that'd be great to see. So yeah, I mean, all you're really losing with the 10R though is the OLED. You get a LCD screen. Now it's just a bit better than 720p. It's not full HD.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a bummer there. Seems like you still do get the wireless charging, from what we can see. There's nothing really definitive on it, but it seems like you do.
More than likely not the fastest.
Yeah.
You don't. That's standard. I don't really care about that feature that much. But.
No, you don't get the premium feel because you get the aluminum, the anodized aluminum rather than stainless. Minor thing. So there's a couple things like that, right? And I mean, your software is still the exact same.
Yeah.
Software experience is still the same. You got all the Face ID.
You still got the notch.
It's the same design. You got a slightly larger bezel because of the LCD.
Yeah.
Because the LCD can't curve like the OLED does around the edges. But it's still a good option. But I think the iPhone XS is probably the way to go.
And if you want to stay in the ecosystem, they are still keeping it. And you don't want to spend that much money. They are keeping the 7, 10, or 7 and 8. Sorry. They look ancient though.
They do, but you can get into an iPhone for $449.
Yeah.
Right.
And for me, that ecosystem,
which would be a $0 phone right now if you're going looking for a plan and contract. And actually, I'd say you'll see promotions on with 8s for $0 too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you've seen those already.
Yeah. So
even before this happened this weekend.
Yeah. So,
amazing. So definitely. The other thing.
Most excited, I think.
Yeah. The other thing about what happened yesterday, or the other thing they announced, Apple Watch.
And the Series 4.
Series 4 Apple Watch.
A lot of cool features.
Definitely some cool features. I think that's the biggest thing for myself. Especially since I just got my iPhone 10 last year. I'm not upgrading that.
Yeah.
Which is just exciting to see. But the Apple Watch Series 4, I can definitely see myself buying.
Yeah, and it's got some crazy cool features that they went over. That gets me excited for the future of watches and wearable devices. But yeah, it's that's probably what I'm most excited for. And that's, honest to God, one of the biggest reasons I want to be in the Apple ecosystem is no other smartwatch compares.
No.
Right now. Like, I don't like the look of them. The Samsung watch is great, but like, it's ugly. It's just hideous. I don't like
it just doesn't look as nice.
No.
I mean, they've made leaps and bounds over what they had with the Gear watches in the past.
Yes.
To get to their Galaxy watches now.
Yeah.
But it's still nowhere close to what an Apple Watch looks like.
Nope.
And of course, Fitbit has got some good options, but
they're really great, sports-oriented options.
Yeah,
so,
they really don't have all the functionality that you can get out of an Apple Watch, of course.
And they don't have the styling, of course, as well.
Yeah.
But I can see the appeal. So if you're looking for a budget thing that keeps track of your health, then go for a Fitbit. No problem.
Absolutely, just for like steps and stuff like that.
Or you can go for the Series 3 because they're keeping it around.
Yeah, Series 3's sticking around for really good price. So that's a good option too. Because you still get all the main things in terms of the you get GPS built into all of them, but then you can also get the GPS plus the cellular, which is what I would go for, and that's what I'm planning on going for in a Series 4 now. So Series 4, you keep that cellular connectivity, but the big thing is you go from either a 38 or 42 millimeter display to a 40 or a 44. So you add a couple millimeters to each display, and it is much larger when you look at it.
Yeah, it is.
But it's the same sort of form factor. They changed up a few little things in the styling. It makes it look a little more modern, kind of. I never saw the exact specs on like how thick it is, but it almost seems a little thinner. But I'm not sure. We'd have to look into that.
And they all come with the ceramic. With sapphire.
Ceramic back, and sapphire crystals in it.
Yep. Which enables that.
You still do get the some like aluminum bodies, and that's probably what I would end up going for because you're paying into the thousands once you get into those stainless bodies.
Yeah, I wouldn't be at it, but I can understand you when you think about it. People and watches that could be considered a low-end watch. Now, I'm not a watch person. I wouldn't pay a whole bunch of money for something that doesn't do anything really. But I want that smartwatch. It's got my main features I'm looking for is like Apple Pay, check, and wireless, so I can ditch my phone when I'm going out for a run or going in a boat or kayaking or something. I don't want to bring a phone that I can lose overboard. And also I do like the fitness aspects that they have. So I want a Fitbit with some extra added features, and the only real good option that I like the look of is
an Apple Watch.
An Apple Watch.
Yeah. So chances are I'll end up going with like a Nike Plus version. I do like those particular bands that they've got with the holes in them like that. They're a little more breathable, and I wasn't really sold on that type of band, but I think that they're actually pretty good.
Yeah, I'll be going with you of course now all the bands work from previous generations.
Yeah,
which is great.
Which is great, so you can pick up other bands, and there are third-party bands too, but they're a bit sketchy to put on your Apple Watch just because they're not quite so good. But you got all kinds of options there that still work. Of course, the big features that they've added, fall detection this year. So like if you trip and you put your hands out, it'll realize that you're falling, or if you slip and you kind of fall back, same thing. It'll realize that you're falling. So
when we get old,
it'll be able to automatically call emergency services then too.
I think that's amazing, and I think that the heart rate or the EKG mapping is insane.
Yeah, be able to do an electrocardiogram.
That just speaks to where it's going to go. So I was looking at pricing. We have free healthcare, so it's no big deal for us, but other places don't. And when you look at it, and you're paying $70 to $150 US for what I was looking at for.
Well, it's not the pricing even for us either. Like in some places, it's the price to pay. Yeah. Here, it's the wait time.
Yeah, we have to wait. We're not getting in right away.
And that's the thing. That's the difference I find between, say, like here in the US, where here we have to wait because things are free. A lot more people, or technically free, paid by taxes. Yeah. A lot of people are going and getting stuff that maybe isn't quite necessary, but there's no cost to it.
And it can give you a nice early warning if there's issues. It can detect
atrial fibrillation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like it's amazing, huge. And then that's just the beginning. In 10 years' time, where's this going to be? I think it's actually going to be a huge part in increasing our health. So I'm excited.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think we're pretty well out of time.
But that is an exciting event. We'll have to discuss some more on it in the future.
Oh, we absolutely will, especially once things actually start coming out. People get them in their hands for a little more, especially if we can get them in our hands.
Yep.
And talk about it some more, really dive into what's changed.
And where it goes. So, good stuff. Good Apple event.
Yep.
Good podcast.
Absolutely.
All right, so we're back regular, and I guess we'll see him again next week.
We should see you next week.
Well, next week.
Yeah, well. Next week, once you see it in a week, yeah.
All right.
All right.
Peace, guys.